Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Innal hamdulillahi nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Wa nashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu amma ba'd. Beloved brothers and sisters, it gives us immense pleasure to have you all in this national integration scheme jointly organized by Masjidul Aqsa and PA College of Engineering. I know people have come from different nations, different states in this place. Not all are from the same college. So in the interest of non-Tamil speaking people, I would like to have this session in English, but you are open to ask any questions in Tamil if you have during the end of the session. And I personally am looking forward to, for the second half of the session, which I wanted to be more interactive. And before I begin my talk, I would like to seek your apologies for putting some restrictions on you by not clapping. I know how difficult it is for a college student not clapping. We request you to bear with us for at least a couple of hours. Firstly, I said it gives us immense pleasure because I did not make a formal statement here. I indeed feel that because each one of you have come from a rational background, educational background, right? Everybody is having either arts degree or an engineering degree. You're about to be engineers. You're about to be some professors in the future. So everyone has that rational thinking. And it surprises us to see that such a bunch of rational people coming forward to understand religion. The reason why I say this is because if you see in the age we live in, rationalism and religion do not mix well with each other. Agree? Yes? Yes? No? Okay. So what I meant is, people believe that if I have to be a rational, if I have to think, I cannot be part of any religion. And that's the precise reason why you find many people becoming atheist. They say that religions cannot have rational people in them because the moment you say that you follow a religion, you tend to lose your rationalism. You are stopped to think. You are not encouraged to think. But let me give an exception of this. I'm not here to advocate the greatness of Islam or anything. I just have to tell something about what I know. And I would try to make it not like a philosophical talk, at least. Because I'm not a philosopher, right? I will try to make it rational as much as possible. And whenever I say something about Islam, it doesn't mean that other religions do not have. I know about Islam, so I'm talking for Islam. Well, you can organize a program and you can talk for another religions, so that will help us achieve this national integration. The moment you start understanding your neighbor, the moment you start understanding the citizens of this country, automatically you will end up achieving that bigger picture, which is national integration. Right? Unless I know you, unless you know me, how do we achieve that integrity? How do we say that we know each other? How do we say that all of us can coexist in the society? It is impossible to achieve that unless there is an understanding. So with that note, there are a lot of religions in this face of the earth, and any religion for that matter will stop you from being rational. And because of that, many people have a hatred towards the religions. They feel that religions are, okay, I can have the religion, but not as part of my life. Let me have it during some occasions, let's say 1 or 2 festivals in a year, I'll be religious. It's okay. I can go to the temple or the church or the mosque. But rest of the life, let me be rational. But I would like to make a point here. Islam as a religion is the only religion. And first of all, I should not say Islam is a religion because we don't believe in any racism. What do you call a religion? A religion is a bunch of people having a similar thinking or people from the same background. Because Islam insists in something called as universal brotherhood. Islam cannot be named as a religion. But unfortunately, there is no better word in English to describe Islam. So I stick to religion. So Islam, we believe, is not a religion because it's a way of life. And any religion, for that matter, will definitely tell you not to ask any questions. How many of you watched the movie PK here? Right? The essence of the movie is not to denounce the gods. Though it was perceived like that, it was not a movie to denounce the belief in God. Rather, it was a movie which insisted in rational thinking. The part of the movie, the main theme of the movie was to say that if you are part of any religion, unless you have answers for all rational questions, those religions are useless. That's the precise message what that movie gave. Well, I'm not here to advocate that movie, just to bring you to the thing I just told. So considering that Islam is the only way of life which encourages to ask questions. In Quran, there are a lot of verses which provokes you to think. For example, the Quran is a book, it's a revelation. We Muslims believe that it is revealed to Prophet Mohamed from Allah. So when I say Allah, you should not feel that, okay, Allah is like your Lord and my Lord is different. You should not feel like that. When we say Allah, Allah means a God. He is a creator who created you and me. I'm not being rash. I'm not being separated here saying that it's my Allah kind of thing. It's a name for a creator. How many of you believe that this world was created? How many of you believe that there is a creator? You call it in different names, but how many of you believe that there is a creator? So many, right? So I think these bunch of people are all rationalists. You believe that there is no creator? Nobody created us? We'll come back to that. So whenever I mention the word Allah, it doesn't denote the God of the Muslims. It's the God of the universe. What you and I believe as a creator, it's called Allah in Arabic. So we believe that the Quran was revealed to Prophet Muhammad from Allah. However, we are told to ask questions in the religion. The Quran says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Whenever I say something in Arabic, I'll try to ensure that I translate it immediately in English. I know it may sound like French and Spanish for you. Do they not think? Quran asks a question. Do they not think? Or is it true that their hearts are all sealed? Unless your heart is sealed, you will be thinking, right? The moment you stop thinking, that means that your heart, your thinking ability has stopped. So Allah asks in the Quran that, أَفْلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Do they not think? Or is it that their hearts are sealed? And secondly, like I told you, Quran is revealed by Allah. So if I have to be a Muslim, I have to voluntarily enslave myself to Allah. I believe that I have to be a slave of the Creator. I am the creation. So if I am the creation, I have to have a master. The master is the Creator. So the moment I say that I am a Muslim, I submit my wills to Allah. I am like a slave for the Creator. Right? If I have to be a slave, am I given permission to ask any question against my master? We had slaveries, right? In the society we had slaveries about 300, 400 years ago. Any slave, does he have rights to question the master? He'll not be able to do that. But Quran says that, in the Quran chapter 25 verse 73, Allah says that, وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا ذُكِّرُوا بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِمْ لَمْ يَخِرُّوا عَلَيْهَا سُمًّا وَعُمْيَانًا. We know that it is revealed from God. So Allah says in Holy Quran that, even if people are advised, even if people are given good advice from the Quran, which the Muslims believe that this is revealed by Allah, they will not fall dumb and deaf on that one. It says you have to think. You have to think even if you believe that Quran is the word of God. And that brings to another note that, like I said, it's a rational religion. It's a rational way of life. When I say it's a rational way of life, that brings a question to you. If you say you're rational, do you believe that Quran is revealed by God? Right? If you say I'm a rational guy, how can I believe that Quran is revealed by God when you have the Quran as copies here? For you to understand that Quran is also rational, I would appreciate that you read the Quran. Quran is not just any other book on the face of the earth. There are so many books on the face of the earth. Any book for that matter, be it written by any scholarly professor or a person of high eminence in that field, that book cannot survive for more than 5-6 years. Engineering students will be knowing it, right? Whatever books you use for the exams, whatever books you use, like the electronics, the digital communication, whatever book you have, all these books will have different additions to that, right? None of the book is perfect. So they'll feel that something is missing. Oh, right, when I wrote this book, this technology was introduced. Let's say 10 years back. When I wrote this book, there was no concept of broadband. So all that existed was only dial-up, right? So after 10 years, they feel that, okay, we have to write something about broadband. Now about 3G. Now then about 4G. So the way you progress, you are required to make necessary modification to those books, right? But if you consider Quran we believe is the revelation from God, and it was revealed 1400 years ago. Imagine a book which was written 1400 years ago and it is still left unaltered. It is still left unaltered, even a single syllable of it. Forget about word and sentences. Even a single syllable of it, even a single letter for that matter, remains unaltered for 1400 years, of the 1400 odd years. It's more than 1400 years now. Can you imagine a book like that? Can you show me a book like that which has been existing for more than 1400 years? There are certain books which exist, but it needs modification. Firstly, the Quran is preserved. There is no need for any change in this Quran. Secondly, even if you assume that there is a change, you should, when do you change basically? Like I told you, the professor would have written something about broadband. Then he felt that need for urge for having a 3G or 4G. Then probably he'll go and rewrite the book. He'll add some pages to that one. So the moment you feel that the Quran, the moment you feel that the book is incomplete, then it pushes you to go for necessary modification. But in the case of Quran, there is not even a single concept, be it way of life, be it talking about all scientific miracles, be it talking about any simple thing for that matter, doesn't need a change at all. Even in the society we live in, Indian constitution law was formulated around 1948 or something, or if I remember it right, around 1949. Since then, there are a lot of amendments to this act. The recent one, say 3-4 years back, the Nirbhaya case in Delhi. After that, people were urging to make some necessary modifications in the constitution. The constitution is the one which abides us. If there is a thief, should I punish him? If there is a person who does burglary, should I punish him? If there is a murderer, what do I give? Amendments in that. But if you see the Holy Quran, there are no amendments. Secondly, the Creator challenges in the Quran that He will be preserving this. Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahum lahafidhun. We have revealed this Quran and we are the one who is going to protect it. And how is Quran protected? Let's be very hypothetical here. For the sake of understanding, let's destroy the Quran, all the copies of Quran here. Whatever copies we have in the Quran, forget about other places. Let's cut the internet connectivity. Let's connect all means of communication with other places. The place where we are, let's try to demolish or let's try to abolish all the Quran, be it in hard drive, be it in USB or whatever it is, in any format, destroy everything. Stop all modes of communication. We can challenge that within 24 hours, inshallah, we'll be able to bring, within 24 hours, we'll be able to bring the Quran the way how it was revealed. Let me give you an example. So in the prayers, right, every day we pray 5 times to the Creator. Whenever we pray, we recite some verses from the Holy Quran. Let's say a person is reciting a wrong word. Whoever is following that person, he has the full authority to correct him. And there are a lot of instances you can see that. There are many places where people have memorized. Thirdly, you cannot show a book which has been memorized by billions and billions of people around the globe. Around billions of people have the Quran memorized. And I know it's difficult for boys, at least girls are used to that. Because you know why girls are more in medical colleges? Any guesses? Why girls are more in medical colleges than boys? It's more to do with the photographic memory. Girls have that ability to memorize it soon. And I'm sure the ladies here will agree with me. So they have the power to memorize it immediately, so soon. But the guys will not be doing that one. But you cannot find a book in the face of the earth which has been memorized by billions and billions of people around the globe. So for these 3 reasons, we believe that Quran is the revelation of God. And finally, auxiliarily, I would say that whenever Quran talks about some scientific facts, for anybody to understand, there are some ancient books written in the Indian tradition. Thirukural is one among them, right? I mean, Tamil speaking guys will be knowing that Tirukkural is one of the tradition which has been there for so many years. There are a lot of good things in that. I agree that I acknowledge. I'm not saying it is totally absurd. There are very good things mentioned there. I agree. I appreciate it. But at the same time, there are certain facts in the Tirukkural which is against the rational thinking. For example, how does eclipse occur? The solar or the lunar eclipse occur? How does it occur? Anybody? What do you mean by an eclipse? Solar or lunar eclipse? Sorry? Yes. So when you have the sun, moon and the earth in the same line, when it comes in contact in the same line, you will experience eclipse. But in Tirukkural it is mentioned that the eclipse is because the snake in the neck of the Lord Shiva will be swallowing the moon. So any rational thinker will say that Tirukkural cannot be rational. But I could challenge here saying that you cannot even show one single attribute, one single context in the Quran which is against your rational thinking. For all these three reasons, we believe that Quran is the revelation of God. And that brings us to another thing, like Brother Nazir was mentioning that we have been doing a lot of aids, a lot of medical aids and all that. We said that we don't expect your clappings. We requested you not to clap. The reason being, Islam is a religion which emphasizes humanity in the basic need. Once a person went to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and asked, we believe Prophet Muhammad, there are a lot of messengers, I'll come to that, there are a lot of messengers in Islam. Of them, the last and the final messenger for the mankind is Prophet Muhammad. And he's not the property of just the Muslims. The Creator mentions, Allah mentions Prophet Muhammad in the Quran as, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا عَلَيْكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةُ لِلْعَالَمِينَ. He is the mercy for the mankind. Well, you are also mankind, it's nothing to do with the religion. He is the mercy for the mankind. So this prophet was asked, what is Islam? The moment the person asked him, the moment one of his friends asked him what is Islam, Prophet Muhammad gave a very brief description. He could have told that it's about praying 5 times a day. It's about fasting in the month of Ramadan. It's about going to Hajj and performing some rites there. It's about doing a lot of other worship to God. But Prophet Muhammad clearly said, Ad-Deenu Nasiha. What does it mean? Deen is to be considerate to others. If I say I'm a Muslim, the first and the obligation on me is to be considerate on you. What I wish for myself, I should be wishing for you. What I want for myself, what I like for myself, I should be wishing for you. There are like many close friends. You will be sharing literally everything with them. But when it comes to that special thing, when you have something special, that will only be for you. But a Muslim cannot be like that. A Muslim has to be a person who is considerate, who feels that whatever I like, I should be giving it to him. So that kind of, definition is what Prophet Muhammad has given us. And in the Holy Quran, there is a verse. It talks about belief in the unseen. The Creator asked in the Quran, did you not see that the person who denied that there is an existence of judgment day? And he gives a narration for that. فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدُولْ يَتِيمٌ. So those are the people who is a disbeliever, the people who is not a Muslim are those who do not help the orphans. فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدُولْ يَتِيمٌ وَلَا يَخُذُّ وَلَا طُعَامِ الْمِسْكِينَ. And those are the guys who do not encourage feeding the poor. So all these are like a bare minimum thing a Muslim should follow. The moment I stop all this, I will cease to be a Muslim. I'll stop to be a Muslim. At the time I stop doing all this one. So as such, whatever social activities, all that we are doing, it's not to showcase that we are capable of doing it. It is to say that we have been told to do that and we are doing it. Like I told you, now this brings back to another question. Well, if you're rational, why do you blindly follow whatever is being told in Quran? Why do you blindly believe whatever is being advocated to you? Why do you not think twice? That is because I am rational. I am believing that my Creator is much more rational than me. The moment I believe that there is a Creator, I am His creations, there has to be certain attributes for the Creator. And those attributes are best told in the Quran in chapter 2, verse 255. Chapter number 2, verse number 255, it gives at least 12 attributes of the Creator. It starts with Allahu la ilaha illa huwal al-hayyul qayyum. Allah, the Creator, is only one. So, when I believe that there is a creator, it has to be only one God. It cannot be having more gods. All of you came in bus, right? How many driver was driving the bus at a time? One? Why not two? Why not two? Sorry? And all of you are studying in a college, right? How many principals you have? One. Right? So for anything, if it has to be organized, and how many CMs we have for Tamil Nadu? Right? For anything, if it has to be organized, it has to go with oneness. So that's what is the first attribute of Quran, which says that Allahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah is the only creator, and there is none other than Allah worth to be worshipped. And the second and the third attribute is Al-Hayyul Qayyum. Al-Hayy means ever living. The moment I believe that my God can die, the moment I believe that my God is born this day and he's going to die this day, I cease to be a believer. My rationalism is lost in that, because if I believe somebody as a creator, he should not have the weakness like how I am having. I am his creations. I may have a lot of weakness. I'll feel tired. I'll die one day. I was born one day. I'll die one day. I'll live my life. But if I believe that I have a start and end for a God, I stop to be a believer. I stop to be a rationalist. And the second attribute, what Quran says, is that he has to be ever living. The third attribute, Qayyum. Qayyum is the word which refers to sustainer of all that which is in the universe. Like I told you, there may be cases, if a college has only one principal, you may be having many people in the board, advisory board. And why is that needed? If it has a collective decision, it will be very well organized to function the college. And if I believe that God also needs that department, if I need a God for creating, if I need a God for sustaining, if I need a God for destroying, if I believe that, I cease to be a believer, I cease to be a rationalist, because I acknowledge that God is having some weakness. God is also like human beings. God is incapable of doing something. So I have to believe he is the sustainer. The creator is the sustainer of this universe. And these are the three attributes. The fourth one, La takhuduhu sinatun wala nawm. He does not have any drowsiness, nor he has any sleep. How many of you love sleeping in class? Very honest. And why do you do that? The moment you tend to attend some class, the moment you tend to be more attentive, you are more prone to sleep. And we believe that God is the sustainer of this universe. He is the caretaker of this world, this universe, the heavens and the earth. The moment you believe that, he is watching all of us. So he is more prone to sleep, right? But God, if you believe him as a God, you cannot believe that he has drowsiness. Drowsiness is the one which starts probably when your professor starts the classroom, and sleep is something at the end of the classroom you will be in a state. That's the difference, drowsiness and sleep. So he should be free from la takhuduhu sinatun wala nawm. He should not have neither sleep nor drowsiness overtakes him. The moment you believe that it can overtake him, he ceases to be God. There are four attributes, right? The fourth one, lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ardi. And whatever is in the heaven and the earth belongs to him. He takes ownership of everything. You cannot say that this part of world is not controlled by God because it does not belong to him. You cannot say that this part of my village does not belong to God. So whatever is in the heaven and the earth has to belong to him, because we believe the oneness in God, and the oneness means that you believe that there is a creator who created all this, and he takes the ownership of all this. Next one, man zalladhi yashfahu indahu illa bi-idhnihi. When I told you about the PK movie, the point I made there is because you will find a lot of people interceding with God, lot of mediators, and that is what is denounced in that movie. That movie was not to denounce the belief in God. It was to denounce that there are a lot of people who make money, who loot money in the name of religion, who make people astray, be it a Muslim also for that matter. Even if he's a Muslim, he tends to be a mediator, he tends to loot the money of the people for his worldly benefit in the name of God. He is not a Muslim. So God says that Man dhalladhi yashfahu indahu illa bi idhni. And who can intercede with him? Who can mediate with him except by his permission? Nobody can mediate with God except by his permission. The next two attribute. Ya'lamu ma baina aydihim wa ma khalfahum. God, if you believe a person to be God, he has to know what is going to happen and what has already happened. If we are part of history, how many history students are here? Nobody? At least you would have studied history in your schools, right? If you read history, and especially again I go back to girls here because they have that photographic memory, so they'll know when was this battle of Paniput fought, when was this battle fought, all the dates they'll remember by name. The kings they'll remember by name. So there is a provision for you to understand what has happened earlier. And whatever history we read need not be accurate, right? It's all bookish. You read from the book, you believe that the history mentioned there is correct. But if you believe a person to be God, he has to be knowing everything what happened before and everything what is going to happen in the future. Do you know what is going to happen in the next 1 hour? Do you know what are you going to be served for this lunch? Do you know whether there's going to be a lot of traffic here? Do you know if it is going to rain here? Nothing. You will not know. Or do you know what I'm going to tell next? No, right? We as a human being will have a lot of weakness that we will not be able to predict a lot of things because we don't know, right? That's not in part of our knowledge. We have some knowledge. That is only the present knowledge. I cannot have any predictions, right? And most predictions are all false. So if you believe a person to be God, he has to know whatever is prior, whatever is going to come. Both before and after he has to know. Okay, so these are all the attributes of God. And next, Man dhalladhi yashfa indahu illa biyadni ya'lamu ma bayna aydihim wa ma khalfahum wa la yuhituna bi shay'in min ilmihi illa bima sha. And God has the knowledge of everything, and your knowledge will not encompass anything of that what he knows unless he wills. We may be knowing certain things, maybe scientific, or you read the Quran, or you read some scientific technical books, and you may be knowing something. It doesn't mean that your knowledge is absolute. It doesn't mean that you know everything what a creator is knowing. Forget about creator, you doesn't know anything. Let's say, example of two guys sitting here. The person there will not be knowing whatever he knows, and the person, whatever he knows, he cannot understand. So it's like that. So the moment you believe that the creator is unaware of any knowledge, you cease to be a believer, you cease to be a rationalist. And finally, وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِنْ عِلْمِهِ إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And the throne of God extends over the heavens and the skies. Heavens and the earth belongs to him is what I told earlier. So God has the ownership. Let's take the place where we are here. The place, or let's take an example of a house. The owner of the house may be a different person, but the counselor of the area will be a different guy. The counselor has authority. The owner has the ownership. So these are two different things. So here God says, وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And to God's throne extends over the heavens and the earth. Okay. If he is having authority of such a huge universe, if he is having so much of work to be done, if he is having so much of sustaining work to be done, creating work to be done, destroying work to be done, doing all goods, acknowledging the prayers of all the people, if he has so many work, it has to tire him, right? وَلَا يَهُدُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَلِيمُ. And whatever he guards, if he has to guard, he has to protect, he has to sustain, he has to create, all these will not exhaust him. I'll be exhausted after say half an hour. I've been talking for say 20 minutes. I may be exhausted, say in 5-10 minutes. And you may be exhausted. You may be lost in some dream now. By the time I started my talk, and now, the moment you wake up now, you will not know where you are. You are exhausted. If you believe that God is also exhaustive, you stop to be a believer, you stop to be a rational, and that is exactly what Islam says. God, it will not tire him. He will not be exhausted with the work what he do. وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَلِيمُ. He is the most high and the most great. So if you believe that 12 attributes being present in any person, you can worship him. But the moment you see one of the attribute missing in a person, he stops to be a God. Like I told you, Allah is not a property of Muslims. Allah is the word referring to the Creator who created you and me. So this is the precise message of Islam. And the moment I say that I believe in Allah, like I have to believe in certain things to be a Muslim. And of those belief, I have to believe that Prophet Muhammad, he is not divine, he is not God. He is just the messenger of God who brought us Quran, and he is the one whom all Muslims follow as a guidance. We follow Prophet Muhammad, but we do not worship him. Forget about Prophet Muhammad. There are many prophets who were before him. All of us, none of the prophets are being worshipped. If the moment I start to worship a prophet, I am not a Muslim. And finally, I would like to conclude by breaking a myth here. Many people believe that Prophet Muhammad is the inventor of the religion. He invented Islam, right? But that's false. According to the Islamic belief, we believe that the first man created on this earth is Adam. How many of you believe in Darwin's theory? Quite a few people. Okay. So I will leave that open for Q&A. I can answer more on that Darwin's theory. Let's not get deviated. So as a Muslim, I have to believe that the first man created on this earth is Adam. This Adam was also a Muslim. He was also submitting his wills to the Creator. And that's why we call him as a Muslim. So with all this belief, I think it's too much for the day. I put the base here. I would like to conclude my talk with one verse from the Holy Quran. I said in my talk, in the due course of my talk, I told that Islam is the only religion which insists in universal brotherhood. We are talking about national integration here, right? For a person who is having a regional integration, it will be difficult for him to adjust to the state integration. For a person who is already following state integration, for him to get accustomed to national integration will be difficult. But if you see the other way around, for a person who believes in international integration, the universal brotherhood, for him to adopt to the national integration is very simple. And Quran says that in chapter 49, verse number 13, Ya ayyuhannas. He calls, O mankind, the Creator calls, O mankind, Inna khalaqnakum min zakarin wa untha. I have created a male and a female from them. Waja'alnakum shu'uban wa qabalil ta'arafu. From them I have created many races, many nations and peoples, is only to understand. How many Dinesh is there in this group? Dinesh? Only one. Surprising. How many Kumar? Dinesh Kumar, right? Okay. So we have two Kumars. So how do you identify? Either they'll be from a different college or they'll be from a different place, like that. So Islam says that we have created you from the single pair. All of us are children of Adam and Eve. Is the firm belief of Islam. The moment I believe that you are my brother, you are my sister, there is no need for somebody to come and say that you be together. There is no need for somebody to push and say that you form this integration, you form this universal brotherhood. We believe that all of us are the descendants of Adam and Eve, and we have been in different nations, different religions, different castes, is only to identify, and there is no need for any untouched. It doesn't mean that I am superior and you are not. It doesn't mean that you are superior and I am not. It is just for an identification. Right now I live in Bangalore. That's my place. And wherever you live in, it's just an identification that you are part of this world and I am part of this world. So that's what is the precise message of Islam. And like I told you, I'm looking forward for the second half. That's exactly what we are looking forward. It's an open forum. Don't ever think that, should I ask this question? There may be a lot of questions for you, like Darwin's theory, and do we need a creator and all that. Some may be thinking, okay, I have the question, well, but I don't know what to ask now. Don't do that. We sincerely request you, humbly request you to make use of this platform in making it interactive. Like I told you, I don't want to be making it like a philosophic or make some slides and show you just like the way how it has been done in your classrooms. I don't want you to start with drowsiness and then end up in sleep. That's not the precise thing what we wanted to do. We wanted to keep it open to the forum. Anybody is entitled to ask any questions for that matter. And inshallah, we'll arrange one more mic in the first floor also for the benefit of others. And if you want to ask any questions in Tamil also, you are welcome. For the benefit of people, I would personally request, it's a program organized for people from various states. I personally feel that it will be good if it is in English. But well, if you have any questions in Tamil, you are feel free to ask it. Inshallah, we'll try to answer them Not because we boast that we know everything. It is because we believe that Islam has answer for everything. And I conclude my talk by thanking you and appreciating you for your time in taking and understanding these religions. By the means of understanding, definitely, inshallah, we'll be able to achieve this national integration, and Masjidul Aqsa and the Tamil Nadu Thowheedh Jamaat, for that matter, will be supportive for that cause. Like Brother Nazir mentioned, any support or anything you need after this, you can have our numbers, you can talk to us, or I can give my mail ID, you can drop in a mail if you have any queries or something. But I would like to make this floor much more interacting, and you feel free to ask any kind of question. Don't ever hesitate thinking that should I ask this question in a way hurting them. We are okay. You can even be very rash. We are open to that. You can even ask any questions for that matter. What is the decorum you follow in the masjid? Why do you worship 5 times? Or why do you say not to clap? Anything for that matter. Inshallah, we'll be happy to help you. Wa akhirdan alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And it's a humble request from our side that we have arranged a feast for you. We appreciate if you can take part in that end of this session. We would want each and everyone to be part of this feast.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Hello, sir. First of all, I'd like to thank you for giving this wonderful time, sir. My name is Neet Somaka. I'm from Karnataka, doing my horticulture degree at Mysore. So what question I'm having is, the Muslim ladies are supposed to drape veil over their head, or they're supposed to wear burqas. I wanted to know the reason behind it, sir.
Okay. Jazakallah. Thanks, sister, for that wonderful question. Hope that will benefit. The question of the sister is, she's asking why does Islam, insist women in wearing burqas, veils. So before getting into the answer, I would like to clear a misconception there, because I know I'm also part of Karnataka, so she's from Mysore. So there is a lot of misconception among the people who practice that one. Let me first clear that one and get into the answer. Firstly, all of us believe that there has to be a different attire for boys and girls. Agree, not agree? And all of us believe that there are certain regions which boys has to cover, and there are certain more regions which girls has to cover. Agree or not agree? Agree? Do you all believe that girls and guys can dress the same way? No, right? We all believe that there is a difference in the attire for girls and guys. Islam also gives that difference. At the same time, it sets a limit for the difference. A guy can have this kind of attire, and girl should be having this kind of attire. Not necessary that it has to be that same garment. The burqa is what many sisters usually wear. Not necessarily of black color, not necessarily of that format and all that. The theme here is that the amount of dress required for guys and girls are different. And all of us agree. The only contention between us is that, and how is it different? How much different, right? Islam insists girls to cover their bodies. Clothes are not for wrapping the bodies, it's for covering the body, right? Is it for wrapping the body or covering the body? Covering the body, exactly. And guys know that better, right? Let's say it's a summer, you go to your house, you remove your shirts, you remove your pants, you go for a Bermuda, you sleep underneath the fan. Will it work out for a girl? Even if there is no stranger, even if the girl has a brother there, will it work out in their home? No. So we all acknowledge that there has to be a difference. And Islam sets that limit to the way like a girl is permitted to show her face, and it is mandatory for her to show the face. The very first thing what I told about the misconception among Muslims is that women are supposed to cover their face. It is not Islamic. Prophet Mohammed and the teachings of Quran is strictly against the advocates of covering the face. Any believing woman, any Muslim should not be covering her face, right? So that is ruled out. What she is supposed to do is, she can show her arm. What is to be exposed is her arm and her face, probably the feet, that's it. Other than this, she can wrap her body with whatever garment she likes. Not necessarily, need not be burqa, it can be a salwar, but only consideration you have to have there is, it should not be wrapping your body, rather it's covering your body. When I mean wrapping, it should not be transparent, or it should not be just for being like a garment, it should not be like that. It should solve the purpose. And the purpose is to covering your body and looking like a modest one. And why does Islam treat like that? Because women are considered very important in Islam. How many of you have the habit of having gold ornaments? Guys, no guys, gold ornaments, chains, bracelets? Okay. And how many of you have the habit of possessing both gold and silver? Okay. Gold, silver and artificial. Do you give the same care for a gold ornament, a silver ornament and an artificial when you are protecting that one? Same kind of treatment? You have a difference, right? You wrap the gold in nice thing, the jewel box, and you hide it, you protect it. That's exactly what Islam says. And the reason being, it's very rational. It's very rational because guys are prone to be provocated by the nude dressing or semi-nude dressing of women. Islam is the only religion which thinks in the either side. Now people are talking about punishing the victims of Nirbhaya case even if he's a minor. Islam says both. The guy has to be punished. He has to be stoned to death. There is no doubt about it. Secondly, it is also the responsibility. It is also the responsibility of a woman to ensure that she does not become victim of this one. When I say this, I'm not trying to be rude. Let's be practical here. You are not allowed to open the doors and you're not allowed to let the dogs come in. You cannot say, I will let the doors open, but let dogs not come in. So you have to do it either way. You cannot fence an area and say, you cannot leave the area without fence and say that cows cannot graze it. You have to fence the area and then say that cows should also not graze it. So either ways, you have to ensure that this society which is created is, preserved in right terms. Finally, women is not allowed to expose her, body parts in front of a stranger. But with the family member, husband, or for that matter, she is not having any restrictions in that one. It is only to do in front of the stranger. Hope that answers the question.
Anything to add, Gully?
Any final question if they have, we can wrap it up.
Any final question?
This person.
So there are a lot of hands. I just leave it to the organizers of this event. They can decide it. So I see more than 20 people raising their hands. If they want to continue, raise your hands, please. Whoever wants to know about Islam, please raise your hand. If you have a query.
Is it okay to have another 10-15 minutes of Q&A?
So it's up to the organizers to decide. The lunch is ready. If you want to close this event, we can close it now. If the organizers is willing to continue this event for another 10-15 minutes, it's up to organizers.
And we are here for the whole day. If you want, you can.
Or
Nazir, he was asking for one.
You want to ask the question? Okay.
And then some sisters over there. Then we'll wrap it up.
Who introduced the religions in our country?
Okay.
Then why we are following that?
Okay. The brother's question is, who introduced the religion in our country and why are we following it, right? Like I told, each religion has a different background, right? Every religion will have their own history. The history of Islam is what I've been telling you, that it is not the religion which was invented by Prophet Mohammed. Rather, it was the religion of the first man on this earth. He is a Muslim. Like I told you, Islam is not a religion. The moment you say it's a religion, you are making it appear as if it is only bound to certain kind of people. Because Islam is like universal. Let's assume a person who is a non-Muslim accepts Islam today. He has all rights to lead the prayer for us in this afternoon. So, religion, if you see the history, right, every religion has a different background of how it has been introduced. All you can do is, now your question is, why do we follow religions, right? You come out of all the religions. You analyze which religion is causing you to divide. Which religion is making you divide from the society and not get united with others. Stay away from that religion. Stick to the religion which talks about humanity, which talks about way of life, which you feel is rational. That's more important. Like Brother Nazir said, we are following whatever has been revealed to the Creator and Prophet Mohammed. We are following that because we believe this is the rational religion. As far as we have seen, this is the rational. Similarly, you do your questioning. Don't stop here, because you have a very good privilege of asking questions. You're going to different places of worship. Go to any place of worship, ask your questions. Get your doubts clarified. Don't think that what will he think about me. You be open. So this kind of thinking will help you understand what this religion is bound to be. Is it a religion which is to divide people, or is it a religion which is truly from God? That you take your call, because you are rational enough, right? You know what is right and what is wrong. And if some answers are given also, you know whether it is convincing or not. Right? You may ask some questions about religion. The moment the person says you do have no rights to ask questions on this religion, then you think twice. That's not a religion, that's rather a barrier for you. You have to be rational enough, choose a religion where you can be rational enough and follow that religion. And if you find any form of things which is against your rational thinking, raise your concern. Say that this is against my rational. And do that way, I think, hope you'll discover the correct religion. Next one.
Thank you, sir.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். தமிழ்நாடு தவ்ஹீத் ஜமாத் அமைப்பானது மிக சிறந்த முறை இஸ்லாத்தின் பெருமைகளையும் மார்க்கத்தின் தனித்தன்மைகளையும் அழகாக பல இடங்களில் எடுத்து கூறி வருகிறது. நான் கண்கூடாக பார்த்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிறேன். சென்னையில் இவருடைய பணி மிக பெரிய மகத்தான பணி. நான் அறிந்தது, நான் சென்னை வாசி என்பதால் சொல்கிறேன், எந்த பேருந்து நிலையம் சென்றாலும் அங்கு ஒரு பேருந்து நிற்கும். அது ரத்த வங்கி பேருந்து. அது தமிழ்நாடு தவ்ஹீத் ஜமாத்துடையது. நான் சென்னை விட்டு கிளம்பி வரும்போது கூட மயிலாப்பூர்ல இருந்தது வண்டி. அங்க ரத்தம் சேகரிப்பு செய்து கொண்டிருக்காங்க. இருக்கிற தானத்திலே மிக சிறந்தது ரத்த தானம். அந்த தானத்தை இவங்க நம்ம தேடி வந்து வாங்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அது மட்டும் இல்லாம ஒரு சிலர் இறை மார்க்கத்தை தவறா புரிஞ்சு கொண்டிருக்காங்க. அந்த இறை மார்க்கத்தை இவங்க தெளிவுபடுத்தி அதில் உள்ள ஐயங்களை விலக்கி அவர்களை ஐயத்தை நீக்கி அவர்கள் பெருமையை நிலைநிறுத்திக் கொண்டிருக்கிறாங்க. அது வரவேற்க தகுந்தது. ஏன்னா அனைத்து மார்க்கங்களும் அன்பை நோக்கி தான் செல்கிறது. அந்த அன்பின் வலிமையை எடுத்து கூறும் விதமாக, ஏன்னா உங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் படிச்சிருப்போம், நபிகள் நாயகத்துடைய பெருமை சீரா புராணத்தில் மானுக்கு பிணை நின்ற படலம் அப்படின்னு எல்லா மாணவர்களும் படிச்சிருப்போம். அதுல ஒரு மானுக்கு அருள் கூர்ந்து இறை தூதர் அவர்கள் மானுக்கு எவ்வளவு அன்பை செலுத்தி மான் தன்னுடைய படும் துன்பங்களை நீக்கி அதற்கு சரியான வழிகாட்டுவார். மானுக்கே வழிகாட்டும் போது நமக்கு காட்ட மாட்டாரா? ஆதலால் இறை மார்க்கமானது மிக சிறந்த மார்க்கம். அனைவரும் அவரவர் இறை மார்க்கத்தை மிக சரியான முறையில் கடைபிடிக்க வேண்டும். தெளிவாக அந்த இறை மார்க்கம் என்ன கூறுது முதல்ல தெரிஞ்சுக்குங்க, அதுக்கப்புறம் கடைபிடிங்க. இல்லைங்களா? இந்த ஏன்னா உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன், ஒரு கோயில்ல உள்ள போகிறதுக்கு பல கட்டுப்பாடுகள் இருக்கு. அதுபோல இவங்க மசூதியில் வரத்துக்கு நிறைய கட்டுப்பாடுகள் இருக்கு. அந்த கட்டுப்பாடுகள் எல்லாம் நமக்காக எவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்பட்டிருக்காங்க தெரியல தளர்த்துவதற்கு. அதற்கு அவர்களுக்கு முதலில் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். இந்த அமைப்பை ஏற்படுத்தி கொடுத்த அனைவருக்கும் தரும் நன்றி கொடுக்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம். ஒழிப்பு மாநாடுன்னு திருச்சியில் நடந்தது. அந்த ஷிர்க் என்னன்னு கொஞ்சம் விளக்கம் நினைக்கிறேன். நன்றி.
Good morning, all of you. Okay, it's a wonderful day of my life that for the first time I have ever visited a very holy place of the religion. Again, yes, my brother says that, okay, the religion word in English is not at all sufficient to express our feelings through a particular range. So I will not take the word religion, but thing is that I just want to share my expression, my wishes for this particular institution, and particularly for the PA College of Engineering and Technology for arranging such a wonderful thing for all the participants of this particular National Integration Camp. And all my best wishes are mostly with this particular organization, those who are having some charitable works and some social works for the people in the need.